Welcome, young ones. Namaste. Let's start with some plant yoga today. Remember, our first position is the seed. Om. Om. We get water, then we germinate. Second position. Om. Om. Cotyledons. Om. Om. And finally, the leaves. I love the sun, Rick. Who doesn't, Charlie? Who doesn't? Namaste. Have a great day. Find your inner peace. Be like a plant. Da 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 do 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 do. Da 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 do do. All right. Da 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 do do do. Hey now. Da 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 do do. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
You might learn a ton.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
It's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. All right, by now, my 8A kids have moved their babies into their own rooms, right, replete with soil. Doing quite well. My B-Day kids are gonna do that today. And you notice my light stand over here. So these plants, unlike a lot of plants, these guys, the Brassica rapa, they actually do best in 24 hours of light. Most plants actually need dark time. I mean, they love light. They love the sun, Rick. But yeah, they need some dark time to do the first part of photosynthesis with the lights on is where you basically blow water molecules into bits. You need that energy. But the second part is then taking the water molecules and sticking them together. And so you like doing that. You don't need the light on to do that as much. Another reason why plants like dark time is again because of water, because in the sunlight, when that leaf is like cooking with sunlight, if they open their stomata, water can escape. So they like having some dark time where they can open their stomata to collect carbon dioxide without worrying about losing too much water. All right, so as you know, I brought some quality soil from my compost pile. Let's actually see what the quality is. Today we're gonna do, I got one of these soil test kits, and we're gonna test for the big 3 soil musketeers: nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. And then we're also going to check for something called pH. pH just tells us whether or not our soil is acid or not. And we usually want it to be right around not. All right. Okay, so we're going to do the test now. To do that test, I took some soil and I mixed it with some water, and I'm really trying to stir it up. I'm trying to dissolve as many nutrients into the water as I can. Right? That's how a plant gets them dissolved in water. Okay, and then we're going to add that mixture to a test kit, and we're going to add a chemical to it. And there should be a color change that indicates how much we have, how much nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, potassium, and then the pH. All right, let's do that now. All right, let's do the soil test. You notice I have my reading glasses on because I'm actually reading the directions. Unlike a typical 7th grader, I'm actually going to follow directions. Yeah, I said it, and you know it's true. All right, so I have my soil and water mixture here. We're gonna fill up the test chamber with this mixture. Whoops. Okay. So we're going to test for nitrogen. All right, and then it says, I've got this capsule here that's got a chemical in it that is the indicator for nitrogen. All right, so remove one of the capsules and horizontally carefully separate the 2 halves and pour the powder into the test chamber opening. There we go, I poured it into that test chamber. Oh, you probably couldn't see that. Poured it into this chamber with the test. All right, then it says capped. Cap it. Shake thoroughly, and then wait for 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do all the tests, and then we'll come back in a minute and we'll see how how our soil is doing, right? We're gonna test all those. All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Was it me or did those 10 minutes go by really quickly? All right, let's get a check to see how we're doing. So we'll start with our N test, our nitrogen test. And so we're comparing the color on the left to the color on the right, and it looks like we are really good with nitrogen. So our soil is very high in nitrogen. Okay. In our phosphorus test, again, we're comparing the sample on the left to the sample on the right. I would say we are adequate. Adequate. It's not super high, but adequate means it's good enough for our plants, I guess. Let's see. And with our potassium test, again, it looks like we are adequate. Let's check the pH of our soil. Right, we use what's called an indicator. This looks like we have got a slightly acidic soil. Right, indicator is a chemical that changes color in the presence of another chemical. All right, so it looks like we've got soil that's good in nitrogen, good in phosphorus, good in potassium, but slightly acidic. Hopefully our children will do well.